Good afternoon to, or good evening to wherever you are across the world. Our friends in Facebook, I wanted to take a second and have a conversation with you about the elections here in the United States and what happened last night. Meaning, how did Secretary Clinton lose the elections and how Donald Trump became president of the United States and will succeed President Obama in January 2017. Well, I truly believe there's 5 reasons why, 5 factors that I believe why Secretary Clinton couldn't be the president. The first one is very important, is the Latino vote. The Democrats has been working so hard or expected the turnout of the Latino votes, even with everything that happened that Donald Trump talked about with building the wall, sending illegal immigrants and targeting the Latino vote to go back home. Surprisingly, the numbers shows that 65% of the Latinos voted for Secretary Clinton, which wasn't enough to win the Latino vote because President Obama in 2008 and 9, even in 2012, the turnout for Latino votes were 71%. The difference there is big, between 71% to 65%. And Donald Trump has 29% of the Latino vote last night. Unbelievable. Who could have thought that with everything he's talked about, he would have 29% of the Latino vote? The second point is the African American vote, which we knew might be a risk that people won't come out. President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama campaigned hard in Philadelphia to help the secretary to get the votes, but unfortunately it wasn't enough again. 88% of African Americans came out and voted for Secretary Clinton. Now compare the 88% to 93% of the electoral vote of the African Americans who voted for President Obama. That's a big difference. So 8% only voted for Donald Trump last night in the African Americans, but still there's a lot of those people who stayed home and didn't come out and vote for him. Why? That's a big question that we'll talk about in a minute. But the third factor that I think why she lost is that the millennial vote, the young people between 18 years old to 31, the majority of these young people didn't come out to vote because they felt very frustrated. That's what we call the millennials. 55% came out last night. And when Obama was running for office, 60% of these young people voted for him. Again, a big gap. And surprisingly, Donald Trump had 37% of these young people under 30 years old that voted for him. What that tells us, because during the primary with Bernie Sanders, many of these young people felt that their voice or the election was rigged. They were not represented well, and the establishment was helping to get Clinton elected, which hurt her actually in the end. So that's the third point, the millennial vote. And then now we're talking about the fourth factor why Clinton didn't win is because there's a trust issue here. There's a lot of people who don't trust that Hillary Clinton was the right candidate in the party. And because of it, many people didn't come out and vote. They stayed home. We were left with 2 candidates that majority of the center, who usually come out and vote Democrat, decided to stay home, or when they go to vote, voted the blank card or voted the third candidate, which really wasn't helping the Democratic candidate. There is a trust factor because there's a lot of issues that happen with Senator Clinton that end up coming out with the emails, with the Benghazi in Libya, and then you have the issue of ISIS and etc. The fourth factor is that the fourth one, and then now we're talking about the fifth one. The fifth factor why I think that Clinton couldn't win the elections is because that's what I call the hidden supporters of Trump. There is Democrats and independents and hardcore Democrats who usually vote Democrat, who last night voted for Trump because they were looking for a new person in Washington. They were tired of the establishment. They wanted. That's exactly what happened in 2008. President Obama was the outsider. He came in and broke all the laws against all the odds, and everybody was looking for that new person who can come and say, enough, Washington. We finally need somebody who can come in and represent not few of us, but the American people. And that's exactly what happened last night. It's just that it's the other side. You have the complete right side who been since the beginning fighting against President Obama. And that side, everything they talked about in the kitchen table, in those living rooms, in among their circles, those things that are not politically correct, that they cannot talk about outside, Donald Trump talked about it in the open. And this is why they galvanized behind him and elected him as president of the United States. Now that led me to where we go from here. Now, so what? What's going to happen? The idea, and that was what we all know, is that this country, everything is possible. Anybody can do it. What we learned from this issue is that you can go from Obama to somebody like Trump, and it stops nothing from running in this country. Because the bottom line is, even Trump talks about deporting immigrants. I know a lot of the immigrants who are following me talking about, okay, what's going to happen to us now? I'm here to tell you, nothing. President Obama we worked hard to elect him as president. He's done a great job. He's tried everything that he could with what he had. But I'm here to tell you also that President Obama deported 2.5 million immigrants outside of the United States since he became president. There's institutions and laws that stay in this country that are not going to change because President Trump is elected. For some of you who think, well, now I'm going to move overseas because things are going to change and I'm going to be deported, or things not going to be right anymore in this country, I'm here to tell you, no, it's not the case. This country is known for that. I mean, it's a country where you can see anything happening, but in the end, we had two Bushes here. Did it stop us from moving forward? Did it stop us from creating the America that we need? We have challenges, but it is not the end. So don't be discouraged. I know how you feel today. A lot of people are upset. You got the right to be upset. A lot of people were upset when we took the White House. When President Obama got elected in 2007 and 2008, a lot of people got upset. The Tea Party movement, they galvanized. We won both the House, the Senate, and the Congress. We won it, and then we won the executive office with the president. They was very upset for 2 years. Everything the president did, they tried to sabotage it. But did it stop things from moving? No. Well, it hurt the president when we lost the House, that everything he tried to do, they tried to stop him. But I'm here just to tell you that what President Obama talked about today in the White House is right. It's time to unify and to look at the bright side of things and look at basically the good things in this situation. Because in every situation that you see, there is a good and bad in it. We cannot desperately just give up because a guy named Donald Trump is elected as president. So what? Life goes on, and it will bring other opportunities for somebody like Obama to come again. Because if Bush wasn't so bad as president, we wouldn't have President Obama. But God is never wrong. His decisions, I believe his decision is always the best. So it's just to let you know that I feel encouraged. Let's roll our sleeves. Let's get behind the new president and support him as much as we can, because in the end, If he wins, everybody wins. But if we lose because by partisanship or whatever he said during the campaign, and we hang on to those things and we fight, let's fight, but for the right things, not because just somebody is there. This country is known for that, and I truly believe that we can get back on track through the next elections, whether it's in the House or the Senate, and have a voice that can represent the entire communities that we have around. Whether you are white, black, you are Latino, or Asian American, everybody has a role to play in this great nation. And to our friends overseas, I'm just telling you that this is the deepest it gets as democracy. You can see it explaining itself right here in America, that you can have all the way from the right left to the left completely, but in the end I believe they will cooperate, they will work together, and they will focus on the fundamentals of this country and that American dream, that anybody who are willing to work for the dreams can make it a reality. That's what Donald Trump did. Somebody who just fought for what he believed in, and there was a lot of frustration among young people, among the middle class America, who believed they were left out by the system, and they wanted something new in the system, and that's what they got. President Obama has done everything that he could with the little that he had. He's taken the country from nothing to where it is today. We are very proud of the work that he's done, of the work that we all did on his side to make sure that we came from the Bush era in the economic disaster that we were to where we are today. Now, as citizens, we have to continue that work, whether who is in office. It's not about the person. It's not about the Oval Office, but it's more about what we all share, which is this country. And it all belongs to us. So keep courage. God bless you. God bless the United States, and God bless the world. Peace out.